Hi, people. I'm back.
You're not that. You
I
left
just
the
thought that
mama.
I would decide to read you parts of my book. I'm not going to take up a lot of your time. I'm just going to read maybe 2 pages from my book. However, the BDs didn't let it go. Darshay and me was living on the second floor of my granny's old apartment when two guys climbed up the side of the building to our front window and came into the apartment while Darshay and I were asleep. I awoke to Darshay's muffled scream and someone jerking me out of bed. The two guys told us that we were being warned not to say anything. Darshay told the guys, I did what y'all asked. She won't testify. What else do y'all want? The two guys looked at each other and said, we were told to come here to make sure that you're not going to testify. I still didn't understand why they kept threatening us. Come to find out, that low-down coward detective Freckles was telling every BD he arrested that I was going to testify against the whole nation and that my testimony would have the feds breathing down their gang's back so hard and they were going to uncover all of the shit that they had been up to. This fucking cop almost cost me my life. As it turned out, they didn't have any real evidence to convict. So they continued to work until they found something else on them. Anyhow, the GDs weren't too happy with the way things went on the legal side of the matter. So the GDs decided to shed blood and get what they wanted. But what they didn't count on was that Snake Freckles double crossing them. As the war between the GDs and the BDs went on, I lost several close friends. My girl Deshawn and I were chilling in Washington Park when all of a sudden, out of nowhere, there was loud gunshots ringing over the park. Next thing I know, me and Deshawn were running, and when I looked over at her, she was falling down. I stopped and turned to look at my close friend, bleeding from her mouth and shaking like she was having a seizure. I was frozen in a time warp or something because 3 bullets had shot past me and I didn't realize it until two more grazed both sides of my ears. I took off running again. I didn't stop running until I got to 58th and King Drive. I guess I tripped because I fell down a hill and started to roll towards the bus stop. As I fell, the branches of the tree in front of me started falling like they were being shot down. Bullets were literally flying over my head, so close that I could have been shot in the head. My next close friend was killed later on that year in the summer at Washington Park Pool. Candace was her name, and she and I were like best friends. We did our homework together and kicked it. She kind of felt like the sister I never had. We were swimming at the pool that summer as usual when these GD guys asked us where we lived. We told them on 60th and King Drive. So when we got out of the pool, we started to walk up to the field house. As we were walking, we noticed the two boys that were in the pool with us was with a big group of other boys. The boys were yelling forks up, trays down, anybody off the one known to get beat down. So I told Candace, let's walk around the backside of the pool and cut through the park to the basketball court. She didn't want to listen. So as we're still walking towards the field house, the boys start running at us. Me and Candace turned to run, and the boys caught us and started beating the shit out of us. I picked up some dirt and started throwing dirt. Then I took off. Then I took off. When I looked back, all of those boys were beating my friend into the ground. I could tell in that split second that they had smashed her skull. Horrified, I kept running until I got to 55th and Cottage Grove. When I finally made it to Cottage Grove, I just broke down. I was crying like a baby. I couldn't believe that another one of my friends was dead. And that's just a little piece of my book called Life of the Misled Gemini. I am currently trying to have it published. Well, I'm trying to finish it and have it published. So, anybody that wants to invest in my book, it's a story about child on child rape. It's about a gang war. the crookedness of the Chicago Police Department, a war between two major Chicago gangs that I was involved in. And you know what? I'm not scared anymore. I'm not scared to tell my story. So if you're interested and want to know my story of what went on in Chicago during the time when I was growing up, hit me up. Look for me on Facebook or MySpace.